Which part of your lifestyle chips are you trying to cash in? So if you're trying to get rich quick, I want to make loads of money by next year, I'd rather you didn't do this. I don't think that is a sensible, intelligent way of living your life. You're going to take too much risk and you're going to be susceptible to lose it all. If you said, hey, Raoul, listen, what I want in 5 years' time to have made a decent return on my money, 3, 4, 5 times my money. I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm going to ask you for a price prediction.
No.
You don't do price predictions?
Not anymore. And the reason being is because a lot of people listen to what I say, and therefore they then build a mental model around a price.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do is then you create a false comfort in what you're doing. But Raoul says it's going to X. And that stops you doing the work to make yourself test anything. And then you start extrapolating, well, I put 10 grand in, and if Raoul's right, I'm going to have $1 million. Like the whole thing becomes this emotional journey.
Mm.
And so I've tried to stop doing it because the best thing I can say to people is, listen, 2032, 2034, that is not long away, 10 years. This asset class is going to go from 2 trillion to 100 trillion, right? That is a huge return. Now, some of the coins in that space will do a multiple of that. That simple thesis is why I built XPAM, the asset management company, Exponential Age, was just to capture this trend, to unfortunately, it's only for high net worth investors and institutional investors, but just let them go on that journey, get the hedge funds to take the risk and figure it out and do that. But if people just do that, give me 10 years, just give me 10 years. And if you do it 10 years and you're sensible, you'll be able to take a whole chunk of money out every few years because it's quite cyclical. It moves maybe every 4 years. And so you can take a chunk out, cash it in the lifestyle bank, and keep moving towards that goal.
Well, as you were speaking, I figured out your price prediction based on your prediction of how big the asset class will get. So you gave me enough time to ask AI to do the math for me. And it says if Bitcoin has a 40% market dominance, the market cap of Bitcoin will be roughly 40 trillion. If there are approximately 19 million Bitcoins mined, the price would be around 2.1 million per Bitcoin. At a 50% dominance, the price per Bitcoin would be 2.6 million per Bitcoin. Today, as we sit here, the price of Bitcoin is $62,000. So if your prediction that the asset class gets to 100 trillion, and if Ethereum is 15% of that, then each Ethereum will be worth $125,000 per Ethereum. And today it's worth about $2,400.
Okay, so then what I do when I face with something like this, when I first bought Bitcoin I wrote the first ever Bitcoin strategy piece and made a price prediction based on what I understood about Bitcoin back in 2013, 12. It was the first ever piece written by anybody. And I said, listen, I think it's worth $1 million. And it was trading at $200. And I had some basic maths, but same kind of idea, using trends and everything else. And I said, I'm assuming I'm wrong by 90%. It's still worth 100 grand. And it's currently $200. It's the best trade you'll ever do in your entire life. And that proved out to be true. So let's assume that Raoul is a moron and I'm 50% wrong. That's a $50 trillion asset class. You get to $1 million Bitcoin-ish, right?
Mm.
And assuming whether it's that dominant or less dominant and what happens to it. But you can see the magnitude of the returns.